going to be successful, but it's going to take real relationship to do it. I don't know, I'm kind of tired of, and I understood what Apostle was saying. I'm tired of kind of these flimsy types of relationships that are pseudo relationships that are based upon circumstances and outward resolve, where there's no real skin underneath it, where there's no real situations, where there's a bloated disposition attached with the essence of the character of it, where there's this thing that people speak that have no real wind under it, but it's just there because it's like a fan blowing, and if you turn off the air, then all of a sudden it's going to go down and show you that it wasn't nothing from the beginning. I'm sick of that kind of stuff here. I think we're at a point where we need to have real relationships, and acquaintance and relationship is not the same thing. No. Say that with me. Say acquaintance and relationship is not the same thing. You see, we have to be careful laboring encounters as relationship when they are no more than indirect acquaintances. Indirect acquaintances have no substantial historical footing, so the encounter may look beneficial, but it's not built on anything solid. This is why you can think you have something until they show you that you really didn't have nothing from the beginning here. Understand here, when two power people get together and refuse to merge, you still have two separate power people. But if they synergize, you have a super powerful connection. This is kind of what ought to happen. And so real relationship requires that we have mutual exchanges, that we're serious about what our call, destiny, and purpose is with one another. You didn't even sit next to who you sit next to by mistake. God's got the right person right behind you, and the right person sitting next to you, and the right person in front of you. You the one got to recognize the power that's in your atmosphere. If you don't pay attention to it, you'll miss opportunity to touch and agree and recognize that miracle can happen right where you are, that breakthrough can take place, that somebody on that road where you are who needs something fantastic to happen in their life, they don't have to go to the soothsayer or the mystic to get it. They can sit right on your road because you got the power of Jesus. You got anointing and authority and healing in your atmosphere. You can speak it in power in your mouth. You can say it and it can begin to happen right there. Somebody can jump right up on your road and say, I feel God moving here. And you can say, I was praying for this road. You got to understand all of us are part of God doing something brand new. You got to just make sure you loosen up yourself and realize you're not here by mistake or by accident. You're right where you are because God is getting ready to do something fantastic and phenomenal with you. Talk to your neighbor, just tell him it's already in the plan. It's all right. That's why he put us all here all together, because he has a plan that eyes have not seen and ears have not heard.
Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, the world is about to see that God has called me for this season and this time. And the enemy is angry and has tried what he can to keep you from your destiny. This young man was exactly 2 years away from his bar mitzvah, where he would then be acknowledged as a man. And the reason he would be acknowledged as a man is because he put in the time, he put in the hard work by providing for his home even in this instance. The reason why we celebrate Apostle Lathon on today is not just because she's just another year older, but she has endured the trials of time. She has walked through the stenches of the multitude and never lost what she had. Didn't allow anybody in the crowd to cause her to compromise the fish and the loaves. Somebody might have whispered and said, hey, give me that, I'll give you $5 for it. But he said, I gotta make it to the front. I've gotta get where I'm on my way, because there's something that God has for me that the multitude can't give me. I can't allow my emotions to see somebody sick in the crowd, feel bad and give it based on emotion and not vision. The boy kept on coming. No matter how many folks were whispering, no matter how many folks were saying, let me have that, no matter how many folks said, listen, I'll take you to my house if you let me have what you have. He said, I'll take the little I have and watch what God's going to do. I'm going to prove to you that what God is doing in this season has nothing to do with multitude. It has everything to do with gratitude. Is there anybody in here that is grateful that God didn't let you drop your stuff? God gave you the mind to know that something good was coming out of your life, out of all the tears, out of all the pain. Tell somebody, God is going to make them sit and serve and see. Sit, serve, and see. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, it might not look like much to you, but what I'm carrying is what you're going to need. You need me to live. You need me to see another year. You need me to survive, because what I'm carrying is going to save your children. What I'm carrying is going to save your family. What I'm carrying is going to change the vision and shift it upwards. What I'm carrying, I will not compromise it. What I'm carrying, I'm going to live. I'm going to live so that God can get the glory out of my life. My significance is not based upon man's observation of me. I might not be able to turn cartwheels, but what I do it in power. What I do it in grace. And he has me in the palm of his hand. Say yeah. And when it's all said and done, God will introduce me. That's what I love about this message. God made the introduction. Had nothing to do with Andrew, Philip, Matthew, nobody else. When God introduces you, there is nobody, nothing that can hinder the next wave in your life. You've been introduced. You've been presented by the Lord. Somebody open your mouth and scream.